Dear learners, we are moving on a journey of learning marketing with a course entitled The Art and Science of Marketing from Basics to Breakthrough. We reach nearly halfway of our learning journey, where in the week 6, module 6, we are talking about crafting the brand and the brand equity. Crafting the brand positioning and equity. We discuss the several models related with the brand equity. We discuss the branding decisions, and utmost importantly, we discuss what actually we mean by a brand. Now, this last lecture of module 6, week 6, we will talk about some case studies how the strong brands used to be built. So, we are moving to the last session of week 6, and I, Dr. Asutosh Mohan, Associate Professor at Institute of Management Studies, Banaras Hindu University, would love to welcome you on the beautiful journey of branding. So, what is going to be our session objective or the agenda? We try to analyze the key actions and decisions taken by successful brand. That's a real life examples to understand the details related with brand. And we try to apply the theoretical frameworks like Keller's brand equity pyramid to some real brand, even though we captured one example of Harley Davidson to explain the identity or explain the experience related with the Keller's brand equity model. Let's start with a story which we are witnessing over a period of time. Whenever Apple announced to launch a new model of iPhone, we keep on seeing the story, we keep on seeing the news item where people line up outside the stores even in the night or early morning and simply wait to have the first edition of a newly launched iPhone altogether. Did you ever think why this kind of madness reflected for one brand or any other brand where people keep on waiting for having the first copy of the product? We are somehow having these experience in India where the individuals keep on waiting to get their turn in a religious queues to get a kind of religious benefits. But this is happening with a brand. Just imagine how much connection that brand must be having with the audience. So, learning brands that build emotion, earn loyalty beyond logic. Yes or no? You are waiting outside a shop to have the first edition or the first batch of newly launched iPhone new version. You devoted so much of time and energy. You had so much of patience. Why? Because you have certain kind of emotional connect where you are not able to recognize the logical consequences or where logic fails to define your actions. You must be having this phone maybe after a week or a fortnight, maybe next month. You may have a copy of the same, but you waited for entire night. You waited outside the shop for certain hours. So logic cannot define, but emotion actually prevails over logic. And that's what the beauty of branding is. That's what the beauty of brand equity is. So framework, recap, if we try to recap the Keller's framework, awareness, meaning, response and resonance. That's a very basic framework. It means brand is holding the strong equity, and the strong equity means in a layman's term, a strong customer engagement, a strong customer connect. That's all. Let's take our own Indian brand, Amul. Feeling hungry? Want to have ice cream in this summer? This is what the power of Amul, the brand name. Awareness, deeply rooted. Everyone, I think, knows about Amul because its presence since decades and holding the number one position. So awareness, beautiful creation of an identity by GCMMF, the Gujarat Cooperative Milk Foundation. They are actually created a very beautiful brand, Amul. So awareness is very deeply rooted, meaning it having a trust, it builds a kind of trust, it builds a kind of Indianness. Indianness means it's a cooperative movement where the suppliers are getting the benefit and customers are getting the benefit of purity. Customers are getting the benefit of that trust, which is actually a cooperative movement. So quality, trust, Indianness, these all are giving meaning to this brand. Response, relatability. Every one of us is having a kind of relatedness with the brand Amul. Every one of us might be using this brand Amul in some particular product category. May not be milk, but maybe cheese. Maybe the different other product in terms of different drinks, milk related drinks, maybe the butter, maybe any other offer they entered into the staples category also. Ice creams. So you name it, they have it. So all milk related product line offered by Amul. Now they are entering into the staples, they are entering into other domains, and they may have the same kind of equity which they are enjoying with their milk and milk related products. So resonance, it's a household name, it's an emotional bond, and I hope every one of us relate with the Amul girl, utterly butly delicious, and the campaign which they continuously change with the concurrent events happening in that particular week. So Amul holdings are having interest of audience where they keep on having such a witty kind of representation and linkage with Amul with those possible leading events of a week. This is what resonance is. This is what the beauty of brand Amul is, and they are enjoying the benefit of the same. Take another example. We talked in terms of a story also. The story of Apple, the queue outside the store of Apple before launch of new versions. Now if we try to relate it with the same model, Apple, awareness, it's a global recognition, meaning design and innovation and simplicity. Response, definitely enjoy the premium image, the aspirational value. Several times people used to put their mobile phone of Apple, even though advised by the manufacturer not to put the mobile phone like this, where the screen is touching the surface. But many individuals are having habit to put it like this so that this logo need to reflect. That's again a kind of understanding. That's a kind of premium image or the aspirational value which you want to reflect with your association or with the users of Apple. What about the resonance? It's a high loyalty, it's a brand communities, and it's a repeat purchase possibilities which actually represent the resonance related with the Apple product. And many times Apple is moving further where they are trying to create a kind of ecosystem. Now case study 3, Nykaa, very own Indian brand, Nykaa. Awareness. It's a first mover in the beauty e-commerce. First mover advantage they enjoyed. So first mover advantage in beauty e-commerce, meaning a very curated authenticity influencer backed. Not many social media platform, the influencers try to convince the market with the product where they highlighted the authenticity of the product, the curated offerings related with the requirement of the customer bases, the different customer bases, that provided a meaning, that provided a sense to have the first mover advantage on the e-commerce or the first mover presence on e-commerce platform. The response, the personalized experience, usability of app, the functionality of app, that is what they respond, that is what a kind of association they wish to have with the market, with the customers. And the resonance, the engaged user base, they keep on offering you the advices, they keep on offering you communicating regularly to understand your requirement and offer something personalized, something customized. So loyalty through membership and the content which they are offering by understanding you and your requirement. So you are trying to create an identity, you are trying to create a kind of loyalty, and that's what Nykaa did through e-commerce platform, entry into e-commerce platform. And now what we are witnessing, they are trying to leverage this identity, even they are ready and they are opening their stores. So they started their journey with e-commerce platform, and now they are entering or offering the retail store experience where you may have touch and feel feeling, because it's a beauty product, it's an aspirational product, and they are moving wonderfully. So we try to understand how brands sustain equity over time. That's a point of analysis, that's a point of thinking. So you have to reinvent campaigns but stay true to core. You cannot reinvent and say whatever you said earlier, you simply change all those saying and say this is something which you need to believe, forget about the past. It's not going to happen. We talked about the brand repositioning. We talked about the example of brand luxury positioning, where they certainly associated all those Bollywood beauties with Shah Rukh Khan. So this is what you need to understand. You can reinvent campaigns but stay to the core. It's a beauty bar. It's a beauty bar not only for female segment but also for male segment, because male are also getting more concerned, the consciousness is increasing towards the beautification. That is what we need to understand. Use emotion and function together. That's the beauty. Emotional connect and the functionality it offers. Think about the Patanjali brand. They are talking in terms of the benefit of Ayurveda. They are talking the benefits of natural ingredients. And they are having a tagline, Purnatya Swadeshi. Now this Purnatya Swadeshi, fully indigenous tagline, is representing a kind of emotional connect and the natural ingredients which they are offering in their product as claimed by the organization. So utility beautifully connected with emotion. If you have any idea, a very iconic kind of campaign, Hamara Bajaj campaign. When Bajaj was in the scooter segment and one of the leader, not say one of the leader, definitely a leader in that segment, they launched a campaign, Hamara Bajaj, very popular. Hamara Bajaj represented the emotional connect and the utility which they offered in that advertisement, where the mileage, the power, the steam, you are having all those particular things, is definitely an advantageous position which Bajaj scooters enjoyed over a certain long duration or a long period of time. Encourage community and conversation. That is what we need to understand. So, if you want to make this affiliation stronger and much stronger, build a community. Build a community with certain kind of activities, continuous activities. So, if you are making a community, providing or guiding them to go for certain kind of continuous activity, that is actually to remind you that this brand is communicating, offering and providing these values, and this is what you need to go for, this is what you need to retain for. So, community, the communication, the connect which you are developing, that will reflect in your future purchase behavior. And finally, delivering value consistently across channel. This is very crucial. So, if in our last example I was talking about Nykaa, the first mover on e-commerce, recognized the individuality, developed a kind of offers, the community, the loyalty, they enjoyed. Now, if they entered on a retail, mortar and brick structure, and if they want to retain that impression, they have to offer the similar kind of services consistently, regularly. That is one thing, and across the channel. So, a customer is using e-commerce platform or a retail outlet must have a similar kind of experience. That's what nowadays we are talking about, omni-channel representation or omni-channel presence of organization, and that is one of the strategies which organizations are quickly trying to adopt to ensure their foothold at the marketplace under their distribution strategy. We will discuss in detail when we talk about the distribution strategies in different module or in coming module of our course. So, summary: brand equity builds through perception, experience and emotion. No need to re-emphasize again. Stories, consistency, consumer alignment drive success. That's what we discussed with different examples. And definitely long term growth depends on the relationship management. That's what we need to understand even in our day to day personal life relations, that is possible how we are growing mutually, how we are trusting one another or each other mutually, how consistent, how committed we are, then only we can explore the possibility, we can leverage the benefits of relationship. So finally, if you want to learn more, just try to answer why do people still trust brands like Amul after 70 years of existence. Imagine a brand holds an identity and a consistent identity from last 7 decades. Amazing. You may have a brands which are having a legacy of a century, maybe double century also. That's also happening and that's a possible. It's reality. which we have to understand as a marketer. Here you need to try to understand as a consumer your experience so that you can introspect and develop certain elements as a marketer when you want to be a professional marketer. If you have further interest, read the paper, Harvard Business Review paper, Why Great Brands Succeed. It's a beautiful paper with lots of example and make you understand the detailing, the efforts and the stories of success. Thank you all for devoting your time and energy to understand the module 6 week 6 related with crafting brand positioning and strategies or equity. We will move to the next module, and that module onwards we will discuss the different marketing mix element, a basic strategies of marketing for every marketer to understand and every individual at least to understand the marketing exercises or the marketing influence we have as a consumer. Thanks again for your time and energy.